lost, Luke. Let go,
His computer's off. Luke, you switched off your targeting computer. What's wrong?
Nothing. I'm all right.
OMG, you are the last hope for the fucking planet and you don't use your fucking expensive aiming device. That must be the most reasonable thing I have fucking ever seen.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.
You see? You can do it.
I call it luck.
Good luck.
I call it luck. I call it luck.
You must have hit pretty close to the mark. You get her all riled up like that, huh, kid?
Well, I guess you don't know everything about women yet.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
Come with me. It is the only way.
upon Skywalker, Jabba Mabatabatu.
I must speak with Jabba.
Onkapi no Pakan.
You will take me to Jabba now.
It'll talk to Jabba now.
Come on!
Sorry, but honestly guys, I wanted to make a video about Luke being a Mary Sue, just like I did the video with Rey, in order to show that also Luke has some flaws and is overpowered in some situations. But cutting this video, I kind of realized, and it showed me how well written Luke as a character is, and it started asking me what went wrong when creating Rey, and why so many people actually dislike her. And I know you might think, this debate again and another guy who just wants to roast Rey on video, but no. This is not an explanatory video or no roast video. I just want to express and share my thoughts with you, and I have to sort my thoughts, and that's why there is no particular order or direction here. I just want to talk about what I'm thinking right now. Also, I'm a little bit sick at the moment, so you might excuse me for having a bad voice, like always. thinking of Luke, Luke is the classic hero story. He tries, he fails, he learns from his mistakes, and therefore he succeeds at the end, because he stays with his beliefs and his ideals. His story is about character development. The story changes him realistically. He starts at this small farm boy, then he slowly starts to explore the galaxy, to explore the bigger picture. He grows with his abilities, he learns to beat his inner fear and becomes a better version of himself at the end. So it's clearly visible what happens to him. Now it's also clear that not every story can be like Luke's story, because you can't tell the same story several times. I'm thinking about Anakin here when they made the prequel era films, where they made him the ideal fallen hero. It's a tragedy about somebody who was so powerful and everybody thought that he would be the chosen one, everybody relied on him, but then he turned to the dark side and had a great fall and turned out to be the ultimate evil. So you can say it's maybe the opposite of Luke, who was also optimistic. It was Anakin, who was pessimistic, which ultimately tore him apart. And now we have Rey. So when they wanted to make the sequel era, they got inspired or wanted to recreate the original trilogy. Therefore we have also a similar story and a similar character constellation. In the original trilogy we had Luke, Han and Leia, and in the sequel era we now have Rey, Poe and Finn. But this time we have also some differences, with the main focus now being laid on the female character on this group. So like there was Leia, we now have Rey, but now the focus is fully on Rey. Rey is the main hero of this story. And the main problem here is that there is absolutely no character development with Rey. Nothing happens with Rey, there is no message behind her. We don't get to know much about this character. The Rey who beats Palpatine at the end of episode 9 is the exact same Rey who we also saw at the beginning on Jakku, and is also the same Rey who fights Kylo Ren in Snoke's throne room. We just don't get to know this character and we don't see any changes in her. And that's maybe not even the fault of the character, but the way the story handles her. She never has to take consequences for her actions. The story always bends around this character and normally should be the opposite. Luke, for example, had to learn from his mistakes, had to learn from his past and had to overcome it. The story influenced him. Also Anakin was influenced by the story, as he was more or less like a playball for the Jedi Order, which ultimately tore him apart. But Rey is just always doing her own thing and succeeds. And the problem is, she's doing her own thing against all the other guys and then even succeeds. As I said, she just has to take no consequences for her actions. Everything happens to her because its story technically just has to happen to her. That's not well written. Now the main argument against this is that I don't like strong women, which is not true. There are so many well written strong women in Star Wars, and I'm not talking about these romantic sidekick like characters like Padme and Leia who had their male heroes to rely on and stick to, but I'm talking about characters like Jyn Erso, who is even the main character in a full Star Wars film, which I think is one of the best films Star Wars ever had. But Jyn is a strong woman because she has a harsh past. She had a war past in Saul's Rebellion, so she knows how to fight and survive. She has flaws and problems which she has to overcome and deal with, and she knows her duty. I could also think of Satine or Ahsoka, probably one of the best characters Star Wars ever had. They are just well written, they are impactful, and you just love to feel with them. So, considering this by comparison, I start to think that Rey just suffers from lazy writing. I think the writers of the sequel just had no idea how to create a strong female character. Everything that cinema has ever known were strong male characters, and probably every male superhero in any film ever was a male Mary Sue version, and there we find for. So what is the problem with Rey? I think the problem with Rey is that the creators just did what they always did. They created a strong character who normally always is male, so they gave him strong male attributes and then just change her physical appearance to a woman, and that doesn't work. because a strong woman is not just a strong male in a woman body. And nevertheless, I like the concept of Rey, the idea of a girl who doesn't play after the man-dominated rules in this man-dominated galaxy and society. I think that the controversy, even though it brought more attention to the topic, may have damaged the reputation of this feminist movement more than it actually helped, because discussion of Rey being a Mary Sue and just there because the creators of Star Wars wanted a feminist influence in the movies may have destroyed the overall goal, may have harmed the overall intention of this movement. Therefore, I have to say the ideas itself are good, I like them, but how it's done, how it was visualized, and how it was brought into film is rather unadvantageous. So guys, it is rather hard to make up my mind to this, so I'm very interested in what you think on this topic and what you think about Rey and how the story handles her characters, so please tell me in the comments.